Welcome to the first night of 2019 Oil Camp. This session, the series is called Mastering Your Metabolism, and we are going to do all kinds of things that's going to make you feel better, more confident. Joey!
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're good. So last year at this time, I was doing a cleanse and restore, going through doTERRA's cleanse and restore kit and using all components of that. And it was really good. It was really a good 30-day learning. So I wanted to share that with you. And for me personally, I'm working on gut health. What else do I do? I don't know. Going through this, I don't know that my gut will ever get better, but I'm learning so much. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to share with you guys. Did anybody get a chance to look at the post I did on Oil Camp page with the colon? All 25 feet of your colon.
No. When did you post that?
Yesterday morning.
Okay.
But it just talked about, I think the gut is something it's hard to know if it's good or it's bad. Obviously if it's shooting out, it's bad. If you're doubled over, it's bad. But if you're not doing those things, how do you know if it's good or bad? So I posted a few symptoms that are indicators that you may have a gut imbalance. It's digestive problems like gas and bloating. If you eat something and you bloat up, it could be an inflammatory response to that food from the gut. It could be a gut imbalance overall. Weight gain is a sign that your gut may not be working, may not be processing that food, and it just sits there. Skin issues, acne, eczema, rosacea, fatigue. There's nothing worse than being overly full and being fatigued and having to do something. Mood swings come from your gut. There's a huge connection between your gut and your brain. Huge connection. Autoimmune disorders, anxiety, depression, difficulty concentrating, or brain fog. I live in brain fog most of the time, or joint pain. It's not always just old age and arthritis. Sometimes it's your gut. And as I went through this, I went, well, I have every one of these. I have no business talking about gut problems. But, I just haven't healed it yet, but, I keep working on it. Did anybody else have any of these symptoms that they think they could attribute to their gut?
I have all of them, Julie. So yeah.
High five, girl.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 75.
Oh.
Let's feel this way.
Yeah. And then you have a lot of food sensitivities, food allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to think I was just eating too much wheat. And now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I eat. My stomach gets bloated and I look 6 months pregnant. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what I eat. But I learned something else about that, and I'll share with you later on. Our medical doctors are so quick to prescribe antibiotics. And sometimes they're finding studies where antibiotics can change the flora of the gut permanently, mm-hmm. and completely ruin your gut flora, your microbes. Antibiotics clear out the bad bugs, but it also wipes out the good bugs. It wipes out the good bacteria. Keeping your gut in balance is really delicate. I can't even imagine where that would be for me. And I'm not sure how to know that yet. We are dependent on these microbiomes to help digest our food and produce certain vitamins to regulate our immune system and to keep us healthy by protecting us against disease-causing bacteria. And that's the flora in our gut. That's what it does. So if we don't have that balance, all those other things are off. And that's the stuff that I suffer from on a daily basis.
Julie,
Uh-huh.
even if you take a probiotic,
Uh-huh.
you're taking a probiotic,
I am.
It's still not as effective as you need it to be.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, in putting this class together, I think I found out I may be ODing on probiotics.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's hard to say because when you have too many probiotics, you get the exact same symptoms: gas, bloating, diarrhea.
Oh, no.
You know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know,
too much, too little.
Yeah, so there's the balance. Yeah. And I'll share with you later about my probiotic protocol.
Okay.
You know, it takes such a small thing to shift your gut microbiome. Eating processed foods will do that. Getting sick, drinking alcohol. If you experience stress, if you lose weight. I mean, you know, don't we all think that if we lose weight, it's a great thing? It can mess up your gut by losing weight. And obviously, the older you get, the less enzymes you have, the less internal support that you have for your gut. And traveling overseas or going to new places is something that can mess up your gut. Stress is really bad news for the brain-gut connection. Stress signals the release. Here's Tink. Tink's ready to talk to Jasper. Stress is really bad news. Stress signals the release of neurotransmitters and pro-inflammatory cytokines, which is molecules that contribute to inflammation and disease. So, you know, when they say stress is a killer, it really is. It really changes our body. Intestinal dysmobility is when the muscles and the nerves of the digestive system don't work properly. And that comes from stress. Irritable bowel syndrome is always triggered by stress. I would get stressed and then I would immediately have to run to the bathroom. I double over in pain and run to the bathroom from a stressful situation. There's an imbalance. If stress will cause imbalance in your gut bacteria, and it can cause acid reflux. As many of you know, I was on Nexium, which was PPI. It was a proton pump inhibitor, which inhibited all acid in my gut. It's something you're supposed to be on for 2 weeks. I was on it for 10 years. So that's why I'm in this kind of poor gut health, because I'm trying to reestablish that. You know, probiotics can put back in the good bacterias, and most probiotics are measured in CFUs, which is colony forming unit. And all along our gut are little colonies. I've had it explained to me that it's like little towns along that 25-mile road. And, different colonies go to different portions of the colon. And but you can have too much of a good thing. Most probiotics are 1 billion CFUs to 50 billion. That's a lot of probiotic. The signs of having too much is, again, bloating, gas, diarrhea, abdominal pain. But generally, a good probiotic is between 1 and 10 billion CFUs daily for an adult. And doTERRA's probiotic is 6 billion, which is a good general middle of the road. And if you take 2 a day, which is the recommended dose, that's 12 billion. And that's a really good dosing. doTERRA's done all the research on this. People ask me why I take doTERRA, because there's millions and millions of dollars of research behind it. I don't have to second guess them. I don't have to go and read labels. They've done all that for me. And I mean, I think that's such a benefit of being involved with doTERRA, is they make sure we're safe with all this stuff. PB Assist also has 50 milligrams of short chain prebiotic. And I just started hearing about prebiotic a couple of years ago. I don't think I really remember hearing about prebiotic until about, 3-4 years ago.
Do you want to show them some images?
Yeah, where's our?
So let's go to, we just pull up a little sheet that will give us some more information about what these products look like. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
So that is the PB Assist. Is anybody taking PB Assist?
Yeah.
Bob is. Yeah, I am. It's actually part of the Cleanse and Restore package. It goes along with, let's see, 6 billion CFUs. So if you're taking 2 a day, you've got 12 billion, which is a good one. The other thing I read, that your probiotics should be taken 30 minutes away from the meal, either before you eat or after. If you eat probiotics taken 30 minutes after a meal, have a better survival rate, and there's higher numbers. I don't always remember to take stuff after the meal. I take mine in the morning, and then I take it with my supplements is when I take mine. Is anybody taking Lifelong Vitality?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Is that part of the Vitality package?
Yeah.
Yes, then I am too.
Yeah. And so then the PB Assist is a great addition to that, because you're getting all your support from your Lifelong Vitality, but by adding the PB Assist in there, then you're getting the gut support to break that down.
So excuse me, you have probiotics in which?
The PB Assist is separate from the Lifelong Vitality.
And the probiotics are in the Lifelong Vitality.
No, probiotics are not in Lifelong Vitality. That is your, your omegas,
Okay.
the CRS, and your vitamin mineral. And then in addition to that, I add the probiotics because I need that probiotic.
Now, what's the probiotic?
That's going to give you healthy.
I mean, what's the name of the product?
PB Assist.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was a prebiotic. No, okay.
It has prebiotic in it. It has prebiotic. It repopulates your gut with healthy flora.
The capsule has 2 parts in it. Should I go get one? It's like part green and part white. It's got the prebiotic and the probiotic in the same capsule, so you have food for your new colony. Has got its food right in the same capsule. It's really pretty amazing technology.
Right.
And
Oh, is that the one you're only supposed to take 10 days of the month?
Well, it says that, but I take it every day. Yeah.
But for this program, it's 10 days.
The Cleanse and Restore. This is the Cleanse and Restore sheet that doTERRA gives you. So you can take yourself through a cleanse and restore with their cleanse and restore kit.
Isn't it the black little tablet in the red bottle that you take for 10 days? And then the other one is?
Well, when I did this last year, I was already taking Lifelong Vitality, PB Assist, and the DDR. And so what she told me to do was to just keep taking everything that I was already taking to stay on that. So you don't want to stop to anything to do cleanse and restore. It shows on the cleanse and restore that you only do the PB Assist for 10 days after phase 2, which is the reset with the GX Assist.
Oh, geez. Okay, all confused.
No,
It's very confusing,
yeah.
but if you take this sheet and print this off
I got it.
and you just follow and you just check off every day. It wasn't until I got almost through checking off the first 10 days that I went, okay, this is making sense. Because it does look confusing. I think I could have a better form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this whole cleanse and restore kit can be a little overwhelming. And whenever I present it to a prospect, usually I'm presenting it to somebody that already has a lot of stress in their life. I'm trying to go over all this stuff, and you can see their eyes like rolling back into their heads. So sometimes what I recommend is for people to very simply start with just the Lifelong Vitality Pack.
Mhm.
So even though on this form, asking you to take that with other products, I usually just say, you know what, let's just start with the vitamins, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, do the lemon in your water every day, and let's do it for a couple of weeks. And then I add the other products, which are the Terrazyme and the Zendocrine Complex, which are the other products that you would ideally be taking in the first 10 days, but I do.
And I think that's a good way to do it because the 2 weeks of the Lifelong Vitality will help to strengthen. It kind of helps to get you a little healthier, I think, before you start to do the Zendocrine, which is what helps to detox you, detoxing your organs and kind of cleaning everything out. When you're taking these supplements, drinking your water with the lemon in it, I use lemon, I use grapefruit, I use green mandarin. I use really any of the citrus, but always with the lemon. You know, sometimes I get tired of straight lemon.
And why are you using that lemon in your water?
The lemon it helps to detox the liver and to clean the liver out. And it just helps to keep things clean. The way it gets stickers off your counter, it takes that out of your liver that way too.
I always like to tell people you can polish your furniture with lemon and detox the liver.
Yeah.
Could you please go through and tell me which each of these bottles are in order, because I can't read the labels. And some of the bottles look the same, like these two look the same. They've got the green label. One's bigger, one's smaller.
Yeah, PB Assist and
Totally get that.
Terrazyme.
So it's XE Omega, then it's VM, then it's CRS, then what's the first green one?
The smaller bottle is the PB Assist.
Well, she starts with the
These are the top of the list, under your.
That is the Terrazyme.
Good.
And you
Which
take
is the Terrazyme?
the larger bottle, white bottle with the green label.
At the bottom of the page or the top?
No,
Top.
Okay, it has soy, and I cannot take soy, period, in the report. So what can I replace it with?
That's a good question. You know what? We're going to call doTERRA, and we're going to ask them why they have soy in there. And that's a really interesting observation, Judy, because so many people have a sensitivity to soy, included. And so that's probably a product that could do without.
And I don't think it was on the printout. I don't know, maybe I missed it, but when the bottle came, it says soy.
Yeah.
And the capsule, it's the capsule that they make out of soy.
Oh, and you know, Judy, you gave them to me. I
I know. But yeah, I did. And then what's the orange one?
Orange one is the Zendocrine complex, which currently you can't get. It's out of stock, and it's been out of stock for a couple of months.
So unless you buy the whole cleanse and restore kit, you can't.
Yeah.
Okay, now what's the next brown bottle with the orange stripe?
That's the Zendocrine soft gels. That's actually 2 drops of the Zendocrine oil in a soft gel. And you can take that, but that is stronger than the complex.
Okay.
And then the red one is the GX Assist.
The GX Assist.
And then it cleans out the
And the next one is the PV Assist, right?
Uh-huh.
and that's the one we talked about already. And then the DDR.
And what's the bottom one on the right?
The DDR Prime.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to get my new prescription for glasses tomorrow.
Oh, good.
We feel your pain.
Well, these just don't fit right, and they've made them 3 times already, so.
So if you
And
were
then the bottom one is the lemon. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
So if you were interested in doing the 30-day cleanse, which is actually recommended to do once or twice
A
at
year.
least a year,
Mhm.
you might just want to buy the Cleanse and Restore kit. It is available as an enrollment kit, but you've already got your enrollment. It's still a really good price to buy the kit with all these
Mhm.
prepackaged things. And then just copy off this Cleanse and Restore checklist and go ahead and follow along with what it tells you to take for however many days. But Julie, why don't you tell us about some of the side effects of some of these, it's like how you're going to feel if you take it.
The Zendocrine complex, I did okay with that. That was something that I could do the 30 days with.
And that's the one kind of in the middle.
Yeah, the one that's not available right now. The Zendocrine or the Zendocrine oil, the soft gels, that was pretty, after about 5 days, I kind of got some flu-y symptoms. And if you get, headache, body aches, feel maybe a little nauseous, that is your body detoxing. If you feel like you've got the flu and you're like, well, I'm doing this to feel better and I'm not feeling better, just cut back for a day or two, drink lots and lots of water with your lemon oil, and then you could pick that up again in a couple of days as soon as you start to feel better. Detoxing is, it's not always easy on the body, but it's good for the body. Some of it, we're all different with that. It depends how much toxins, how many toxins we have to get rid of. And for me, I know there's a lot. So I have to go really slow on that, really slow. A lot of it is eating a pretty clean diet. You want to cut out your sugar, your dairy, gluten.
Yeah, which I'm going to.
Yeah, Wendy's going to talk about that. If you decide to do this 30-day program, you can post your travel, post your journey on the online oil camp page, and let us follow along, and we can be there to support you. I've done this before, and overall, I felt great when I was done, even though I didn't make it through the Zendocrine soft gels, and I didn't make it through the GX Assist. It was just too hard for my gut. But I did feel better overall. So it's worth doing. Everybody is different. And so you just kind of have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, that's a really.
Yeah.
So the other thing Julie and I talked about before we came on the call tonight was the dosage of the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And it's recommended that you take 2 of each one of those supplements that are in the pack. So 2 of the XO, 2 CRS Plus, and you take them in the morning with breakfast and then again at night with dinner. And Julie finds that she can't take them too late in the day.
It
Right?
gives me too much energy.
Yeah, yeah. So she gets too zippy and she just needs to take it like, what would you say, 3 o'clock is your
No later than 3 o'clock.
No later than 3. And then I was told that, that 2 pills, each one of those, that's kind of a heavy dose. So if you're kind of a smaller person, you might not need to take that much. But I'm going to make a claim for keeping that that consistency of 2 pills in the morning, 2 pills at night for at least the XE Omega. So at least for the Omega product, ideally you're going to take 1,200 milligrams of Omegas a day. And the little soft gels that are in the XE Omega are, I think, 100 a piece. So take 4 of those. Take 2 in the morning and take 2 later on in the day. If you have to, now you're going to be perhaps running out of the XE Omega before you finish up the VMZ and the CRS Plus. There's that drop-down menu when you order your Lifelong Vitality Pack, and so you can customize. You can customize the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and you could add another bottle of the X Omega, so you have it. What's really great about the X Omega is that it's good for your brain health, which Tara is going to teach us a class on brain health right at the very end of the 6-week series. I'm really excited about that. It's also good for your blood. It keeps it nice and slippery. And it's really good for your skin, your hair, your nails. It's very, very good for you to be consuming that Omega product. We don't get enough Omega in our diet, even though I made Julie salmon tonight. Just not enough. Okay, so at least take the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I think the digestive enzymes are a great product because, as we know, as we get a little bit older, we don't manufacture as many enzymes in our body. And a lot of us don't really do well eating raw vegetables. And that's what gives us some enzymes. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. So I would try the enzyme. You can take between 1 and 3 of those tablets before a meal. You take it before a meal and not afterwards. It really helps to break down the food that's already in your gut that needs to make its way out of there. And then as far as the detoxification blend, that Zendo complex, I have a little bit of experience with that myself, and I took that when I did a cleanse in the fall, and I did feel a little crummy for a few days, and then I was fine. So it was just a couple of days that I was like, that must be from the Zendocrine.
And did you take that for 10 days?
I did, yeah, I did. And the first few days were kind of tricky, but then afterwards it was fine. Okay, does that give you a little bit more information to work off of? Has anybody gone through the Cleanse and Restore kit before? No, no.
No, I haven't been through the doTERRA one, but I have been through another companies.
And
it's very similar. Yeah,
Okay.
and we have the same constraints, and I never experienced anything. Maybe I didn't have a lot of toxins in my body, but it all agreed with me, and I still take my probiotics. So, yeah.
Well, I think, Barbara, you must have good gut health because you're one of the happiest people that I've met.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you.
True. It's true. I'd hang out with you any day of the week. Okay. Anything on that other form that you wanted to look at, Julie? You're good?
This talks about the days.
You wanna look at it? Or?
Yeah, can we bring up that one?
We might do
Well,
that.
Wendy's bringing that up.
God bless whoever sneezed.
How many glasses of water do you drink a day on average?
Not nearly enough.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with.
I tried to get 80 ounces, but I probably only get like 25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I started to get kidney stones at one point a couple years ago. And
Oh,
I went to the doctor and he said, how much water do you drink? And I said, I drink 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day. He goes, that's not enough. Well, my whole life I had heard if you had 8 8-ounce glasses, you were fine. And he said, no, you should drink half your body weight in ounces of water. So,
Yeah.
our body's 75% water. So Drink your water. Drink your water
Right.
with everything.
Yeah,
So.
and there's quite a few people on the call tonight that do the melt method with me. And I was talking to Julie about
Mhm.
how people can drink all that water. You know, they're telling you to drink, it feels like balance, right? But
Excellent, thank you.
if your fascia or your connective tissue is a little dry,
Mhm.
then you're going to be peeing. Really peeing,
Mhm.
of course. So if you do the melt method, it's really nice to drink a bottle of water, do a foot treatment, and then drink another bottle of water. And what that does is it makes the tissue a little bit more like a sponge, like a damp sponge. And so it absorbs fluid, right? Sponges absorb fluid better when they're a little damp. So it's a good little protocol to follow.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is just another picture. This is one of page 2 of your handout that you got in your email. And it just talks about these products and the number of days 1 through 10, 11 to 20. It just talks about the different phases. And down that form, it talks about, our body is just a bunch of pathways. And that's what we're cleaning out with Cleanse and Restore. The LLV is our foundation, and then we have gastrointestinal, endocrine, and then cellular. And so you just want to clean out all those pathways, right after Christmas and all the parties and all the sugar and alcohol and
all those awesome cookies that Jan made. Oh my God. Good.
It's just a good time to start the year and to clean that out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you'll do your body a big favor by doing that.
Now Wendy's going to teach us how to eat.
Okay, so cool. So as I look at this form, it says right here in the corner, what to eat? And it says minimize/eliminate sugar, greens, dairy, and unhealthy oils, things like canola and that, some of the vegetable oils during your cleanse, and substitute the xylitol, stevia, quinoa, nut milks, and healthy fats for phenomenal results. So I'm going to move on. You want to switch seats with me? Okay, we're going to do little musical chairs here.
While you guys are switching chairs, I just had a quick question about the first part with Julie.
Yeah.
Not to get super off topic, but when I looked at the ingredients on the Cleanse and Restore, just like someone else mentioned on the call, they can't have soy. And you guys mentioned calling doTERRA. There's some of the LLV and some of the supplements that have gluten. When you call or text in, like, how do you get those concerns and requests to doTERRA? Do you call a specific number to try to have them formulate, or how is it different from customer service? Or
good question. I think it's a product support. And I've never made a phone call myself, but I've told that they're quite open to our comments. I did write a note to Emily, right? And I asked her if she would make turmeric in a soft gel so I don't have to smell it.
yeah.
Maybe a convention will get that.
So, which ones of the LRP, not the Lifetime Vitality, have gluten in them?
Good question.
Well, she just said some of them did.
Yeah, there's definitely one. I took it out of my box, so I can't remember exactly which one, but there's one of the 3 that definitely does. It's not the red one, and it's not like the greenish mint color. It's the other one.
Julie's got the product information page in her hand, so as we're
Julie.
ingredient listed on there that can help us with that. And in the meantime, I think I'll go ahead and move on since it's getting a little bit late. But thanks for that question. Before we go, does anybody else have any questions about any of the products that we talked about tonight?
I just wanted to say the one that Julie thought was too strong, the tabs of the Zengerton capsules, you could make your own with just 1 drop in a gel cap and cut the dosage in half. Just a thought.
And Linda, if you don't know, is one of our most thrifty We all have our reputation, Linda.
Okay. But she said it was too strong. That's why I was saying if you put one drop in it.
Yeah, and actually, I think it's actually cheaper for you to make your own veggie caps with these oils. Like, I think that Copaiba soft gels, it's 2 drops per soft gel, but if you made your own, it would be a little bit more cost effective. Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
If I can move this up.
Just takes a little time.
Let's get this down. Oh, I just lost it. What the? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, can you see that? Master Metabolism?
Yes.
Okay, so Julie and I were talking, oh gosh, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or a month ago, something like that. And we were planning this next 6-week series. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about clean eating. And I was on Facebook one day. I'm a member of a Facebook group that's Premiers and Silvers. And so when you get to a certain rank, your entry into other Facebook groups is open to you. And when I was poking around in there one day, I found this gorgeous ebook, Master Your Metabolism. So I remember calling Julie and was all excited about it because I thought it was just gorgeous. And I'm going to share some of it with you. I don't think we have time to go through the whole thing, so I just kind of give you the whole Reader's Digest version of it. But it was interesting on the Cleanse and Restore handout that Julie shared with us, and it says what to eat, minimize, eliminate sugar, grains, dairy, and unhealthy oils during your cleanse. There's a recipe guide in this ebook from the Diamonds that put it together, and it was loaded with sugar and it had yogurt. So I went into some of my own clean recipes, and those are the recipes that I'm going to share with you tonight. So if you're interested, you can print this off. I have it on the Facebook page, and I will put it in the email of our recording tonight. So let it there too. But I thought they did such a lovely job. I kind of copied it and then threw in my own stuff. Okay, so it just starts off by saying if you want to make a change, it really does start with you. And you want to be maintaining your health for as long as you can. Like, you don't want your parts to age before the rest of you because you're going to go at the same time. So this is a really nice little intro about how the doTERRA products can help you with your metabolism and boost the nutrient absorption of your foods. We already talked about the Lifelong Vitality Pack, but there's a great little reminder of when to take it. Take 2 pills from the bottle with the morning and evening meals. Of course, that's up to you, right? If you're feeling like it's too much, you back off. Like, I love that Julie's taking it sort of midday because she can't take it at night. And then I'm doubling up on that omega because I think it's just such a great product. And it's not just omega-3 oils that are in there, the 6s and 9s. And there's frankincense and tummy tamer oil, so it's a very easy product to digest. If you're having a hard time digesting the omega-3s, like some people have noticed they get a little burpy, you can put the omega-3s in the freezer. And if you can remember that they're in there, you can take them. So we're having a love affair with Yarrow Palm. Of course, that's an oil combination that came out at convention in September. I use it on my skin twice a day. I just love how hydrated my skin feels. That's something that Lori shared with us in the skin health class that we had last session. But it's also very good for your digestive system. It's good for your inflammation. And actually, did you share with them your capsule that you're making?
I talked with Kathy, and she told me about an immunity booster. Some of you know Kathy Thorne, and we talked a couple weeks ago, and she was taking this thing with Yarrow Palm and Copaiba and all kinds of stuff. Well, then I got online, and it's called the Skinny Jean Cocktail.
Ooh, sign me up.
I am way past skinny jeans, but I'm like,
oh, come on.
Maybe now. So I started to take this capsule, and I was pretty amazed with it. The one thing about the Yarrow Palm is there is, every oil has a physical and an emotional component to it. That's why there's the book called Essential Oils and Your Emotions, because there's certain, here's the new version, but every oil has an emotional component to it. Well, I took my first capsule of 2 drops of frankincense, 2 drops of turmeric, 2 drops of black pepper, 2 drops of pink pepper, and 2 drops of yarrow palm. And then I proceeded to cry the rest of the day.
Oh,
And I did not know what was going on. And anyway, I got on the page. If you want to know more about yarrow palm and skinny jeans and the results that people are having with this, it's pretty amazing. But that's where I found out what was going on. So I just cut it back. And now I'm up to 4 drops a day and I'm fine.
And so are you going to give us a little testimonial on the online oil camp with the recipe for that?
I will. I'll post the recipe on there. I haven't gotten on a scale yet, but I can tell you in my clothes, I have lost water weight, and that's what people are using. The black pepper is supposed to be for your metabolism, a metabolism booster, but I could not really find that written anywhere. But pink pepper is definitely a diuretic, and then frank is good for inflammation. Turmeric is in there, and it's really good for inflammation. Antioxidant. Turmeric is a stronger antioxidant than vitamin C, vitamin E, blueberries, goji berries. Turmeric is the one.
It's a good go-to.
So I will post all that though.
Okay, thank you for that. And you just put it in the capsule, and you take it once a day, or?
I'm up to twice a day now, and I shake it. I found that it was better to shake that all together and not have that yarrow palm sitting off by itself, because it will stay separated because of the pomegranate oil.
So the yarrow palm comes in a 30 ml bottle, so it's much bigger than we're used to with the 15, of course, and it also comes with an eyedropper. And what I do is I just take 1 to 2 drops. So I brush my teeth, and then I just go ahead and give myself a couple of drops of yarrow palm. But I love it on my skin. I love it.
I do, Wendy. I started using it 2 weeks ago on my face, and it's amazing.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, I love it. Okay. Other products that you might be interested in using, I think Joey likes some of these. I think she uses the Slim and Sassy gum, and it's a great way to control your cravings and give you something to distract you. And the essential oils that are in there really do work to satisfy your little taste buds so you don't be craving sweets. And the Slim and Sassy Metabolic Blend, this is what I'm going to start taking these soft gels, and not so much because I can't stop eating Jan Olsen's cookies, but she does me. But because I'm going to try to level off my blood sugar. So I went to the doctors a while back, and he tested my blood, and he's like, I know that, you went right after the Christmas holiday, but he said your blood sugar was a little bit high. So I said to myself, I'm going to take a Slim and Sassy Metabolic Blend, and let's see if I can get that to level off a little bit. It's really a good product to help keep some of the workload off your liver. So it's a good one to take. Okay. Okay, so consistency is key. This is such a nice little overview. So upon waking, 2 drops of yarrow palm in an empty veggie cap or under the tongue. At breakfast, your lifelong vitality, plus 5 drops of Slim and Sassy. You can take that in a veggie cap, or 1 Slim and Sassy soft gel prior to eating. Lunch, 5 drops of Slim and Sassy essential oil in an empty veggie cap. So again, that's going to help curb your appetite, maybe from overeating. Same thing at dinner. And then at bedtime, you finish the day with 2 drops of yarrow palm and empty veggie cap, or you could put it in a hot tea. And then, of course, excuse me, all day long, you're going to drink water. And if you do the melt, you're going to do melt method and water. Start your day with that. Look how pretty that picture is. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Isn't that gorgeous? The colors are lovely. Okay, so you're going to make a little plan to eat right, and the way you do it is you really need to plan your eating day. You need to plan it. Otherwise, things will just run rampant. Sometimes you have an appointment and it runs late. The next thing you know, you're out and it's past lunchtime, and you're thinking, oh, I'll just pick up something quick, at Starbucks, McDonald's, or wherever. So you really need to have a better plan than that for the day. Also, you do need to eat the rainbow of foods. Your gut does much better with a variety of fruits and vegetables. That's one of the things that helps establish good gut bacteria, so good probiotic in your gut. You can eat that. Eat anti-inflammatory foods, number 3 here. You need to eat things that have lots of omega-3s. Those are your anti-inflammatories. our diets are real heavy on omega-6s and 9s, which are pro-inflammatories. And then it lists some examples here. And again, this was from the Diamonds version of this mastermind thing, master your metabolism. But walnuts are included on here. I wouldn't necessarily encourage people to eat walnuts, but
Why not?
My doctor does. My doctor says it's really good for your heart and you need a handful a day.
yep, and it just depends on who you are. So some of us have nut allergies, and so
Okay. I don't have that.
there you go. Yay, there's one thing Judy doesn't have. Swap sugar for dates. Dates won't spike your blood sugar, and they're a great source of potassium. And I'm going to post a really fun, what are they called? Power Bite recipes, and they use dates in them, and they're just really satisfying. Some of my recipes had nuts in them, so I'm going to go ahead and find one that's my seedless one, or a seeded one. I think, Linda, you made that one, the seeded Power Bite.
The crackers, yeah.
You made the crackers. They were really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another suggestion is to just eat until you're about 80% full and then evaluate, are you still hungry? So you don't have to clean your plate. Look, don't let your mother, you're going to take care of yourself. Plan your treats, okay? And then maybe consider going vegetarian for a day. That's kind of an interesting idea. Some people do need to eat protein, but I think we get really used to eating a certain way, and you can end up just eating it sort of mindlessly, and see how you feel when you go without having any animal protein. And then, of course, having a supplement. So again, the Terrazyme is a great help to get rid of the food that's accumulated in your gut that just isn't going anywhere. Okay,
good.
On to the fun stuff. So this is your recipe index. And what I decided to do was just give you a few recipes to start with. I think that, again, it's really easy for me to overwhelm people with information, too much information. So I just picked a few of the recipes that we've had in some of our meal plans that I've worked on last year with some friends. And these are some of my favorites. There's no dairy, there's no soy, nuts. My recipes don't have any animal proteins, but you can add that if you want to. So what I'm suggesting is that you really give your digestive system a chance to just take a breather from all of the things that we eat that we don't realize create triggers in our body. And I'll give you an example. I did an elimination diet, which sounds really restrictive, but it wasn't. The food's great, there's plenty of it. But I did an elimination diet where I wasn't taking in any caffeine, no wine, no dairy, no soy, no nuts, all that stuff, no eggs. And actually I was like, oh my gosh, no eggs? Are you kidding me? And the last day of the transition diet, you're starting to add these things back in on the second week of the meal plan. I finally had a salad with a hard-boiled egg. I was like, yay! Well, prior to the elimination diet, I had had chronic dry skin around my mouth. And I would do everything I could think of. Like I remember Julie buying me some product from Rodan and Fields, and it was kind of expensive. And I put it on my mouth and I would go to bed and I think, okay, tomorrow it's going to be perfect. And I would wake up and it was still all dry.
Wow.
The elimination diet and the transition diet showed me that I have an allergic reaction to eggs. And so when I, that's where I get my dry skin.
Wow.
Soy was not on the meal plan, and I think I had sushi or something after I came off the transition diet, and the soy was like, made my tongue kind of itchy. So there's all kinds of little triggers that you might not even realize from the food that we consume all the time. So this is just a little into an elimination diet. So this first image is one of my favorites, breakfast. And I'm not a good breakfast eater, but this is one of my favorites. And it's called the Boundless Energy Seed Cereal. And I put pumpkin seeds in a mason jar, sunflower seeds in a mason jar, and the other seeds as well. And then I just pour out in a handful of each one of those and put them in a little bowl. And then I cut up an apple, I throw some raisins in there, the coconut flakes, the cinnamon. I also add a drop of On Guard. I put in my non-dairy milk, and I don't think I put a cup in. I don't like it too wet. And then I do put a little maple syrup in, and maple syrup is a good sweetener because it doesn't spike sugar level called low on the glycemic index. So
And
it's
cinnamon's good for you too.
really good. Yeah, it's really good. So this is one of my favorite cereals. And I think, Julie, do you put yours in the microwave?
I have put it in the microwave, but I also put all of this on top of one of the other recipes.
Oh.
Sweet potato mash.
Oh.
Because I like, so I get the sweet potato mash warm, and then I just sprinkle all of this on top.
And we're going to give you that recipe for the sweet potato mash too. So if you're used to having eggs and toast, if you're used to having a bowl of cereal, if you're used to having oatmeal, maybe just give yourself a chance to try something else and put some of that away for a while and just see how you feel. It might not be such a noticeable thing for you because we're just introducing one recipe at a time, but over time you'll have more recipes to choose from, and you could actually put a little meal plan together for yourself for a week or so. Next one is my favorite roasted vegetable salad. I just love this. It's butternut squash and sweet potato. Who doesn't love that? But you know, the real kick for me is the cilantro and parsley. I don't know what the story is with that, but I just take a bunch of each and I just chop, 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 and throw it in a Ziploc bag. And you just take a handful of that and you just put it on top of your salad. It's delicious. This is something that you could actually roast the vegetables the night before if you felt like you didn't have time to be cooking for lunch. So you just have it available. You can eat this cold, you can eat it room temperature, or you can have it hot out of the oven. It's really good. And again, you can add whatever animal protein you like. So if you like a chicken breast or you like a piece of salmon, Bob Moore has given you before, and sometimes I just buy a little piece of smoked salmon, and it's so nice. Just cut it up. It's got a lot of flavor. It's really good. Okay. Oh, sorry.
This salad dressing, the orange vinaigrette salad dressing, from the day I got this recipe, has been the only salad dressing I use.
It's good.
You know, sometimes, again, back to the gut, sometimes the balsamic vinegar is too sour or too, it hurts going down sometimes. This dressing has apple cider vinegar, which is so much more healthy for you.
Yeah, and so think of that for a sec. So many of us just eat because it's a pattern of behavior. And we might even go, you know, that really doesn't feel good in my esophagus or my throat, but you eat it anyway. Or you might know, gosh, if I eat this ice cream, my stomach's going to be really upset. And you eat it anyway. So what I'm suggesting is you acknowledge that these are triggers and just give yourself a little time to take a break. And I'm going to give you some options so that you can try that. This is the meal that Julie and I had for dinner tonight, and we put a nice piece of salmon on the top. So this is super easy to make. You just throw some sweet potatoes in the oven, and when they come out, they're kind of hot, so just let them sit, hot potato, just let them sit for a little bit, and open them up and just take the inside out, put it all in a bowl, and add a little bit of this pumpkin pie spice that you can buy just in the grocery store in the spice aisle. And it adds like a little sweetness. It does taste like a pumpkin pie. It's really good. And of course, there's no sugar in that, so it just tastes really nice. And your mixed greens, I did want to mention that some of us have a hard time digesting raw lettuce and kale and all that stuff. So if you need to saute your kale and just kind of soften it up, that would be one way to do it. Just make sure that when you're eating your greens, like kale or here with your mixed greens, that you chew it and chew it and chew it. Chew it like it's Slim and Sassy gum. Just chew it. Help break it down in your gut. So we have saliva. There's already enzymes in your saliva that starts breaking apart your food. If you make it nice and small, it's really much easier on your gut. And it's good for your jaw to do all that chewing, by the way.
And if you get gut irritation from eating greens, I had a naturopath doctor tell me you don't have enough acid in your gut to break down the greens.
Oh.
And then some doctors will put you on an acid blocker, you know, for some of the symptoms that Julie has. And she doesn't have enough acid, right? So
and so all my greens have to be cooked.
Yeah.
I can eat romaine lettuce. That's
right.
it.
Okay. So good to know. So put your Prevacid away and transition to digest that instead. Oh, this is such a good smoothie. I forgot all about this one. I love this smoothie. So this is might be a surprise to you that there's an avocado in here, but that's what makes it nice and smooth and kind of rich. And it gives you that big burst of your omega-3s, which is so nice. It's delicious. And you could add a little peppermint essential oil to this, or you could add the cinnamon oil, isn't it? There's the dates, so that's a nice way to sweeten this particular smoothie without adding any extra sugars. This 2 tablespoons of the raw cacao, I have had people say, I don't really know what that is. It's just like cocoa, but it's processed differently. It doesn't have as much of it baked out. It's much cleaner. It's much more healthy. It's much higher in antioxidants than cocoa. And so it's a better option. It's not the cheapest thing in the grocery store. I'm always kind of surprised. So every now and then Whole Foods will have it on sale. And, you know, if you climb up onto the shelf, you can reach way in the back and find it.
Yeah.
Amazon has it too.
Oh, who said that? Judy? Okay.
Yes.
Good. How much, do you know, did you remember how much you paid on Amazon?
Golly, they've changed the packaging as well.
They do that.
It's about $25 for 3 packages. I'll go get one.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
I get raw cacao from iHerb as well.
Who?
iHerb, IHERB.com.
Oh,
iHerb.
Okay, I thought I heard you say it that way. Okay, but this is a very nice smoothie. Julie's not a big fan of smoothies in the winter.
Well, I hope this is good. It's 25 ounces, so it's almost 2 pounds. But it's Dutch processed. It's not alkaline. And you get 3 packages.
Well, that looks pretty good. Oh, see, that's
Baking cocoa.
that's
So
different.
that's not cacao.
That's not cacao.
Right.
Okay.
I'm talking about cacao, but thank you for sharing, Judy. Just-
Where do I get the cacao then?
well, you can probably look on Amazon and report to us next week.
Whole Foods.
Okay, so that's a great smoothie. It really is one of my favorites. It's kind of weird if you let it sit in the blender for a bit, like if you drink some of it and then you go back and have a little bit more, because that avocado is going to turn color. So it gets to be kind of a color, but it tastes just really good. I love that one. And here's my favorite, and Julie's favorite too, our favorite.
oh, the dressing.
Vinaigrette. So here's the
Vinaigrette is great.
It's really, really nice. And you can, like, I like to put a little extra garlic in mine. So I just do that. And then I love the honey in there. It's just a really nice salad dressing.
Oh, and I think I made mine with maple syrup.
Oh, okay. Instead of the honey. Yeah, great. That's Julie's much more, she's way bolder than
Well, I just,
So those are some of the recipes that I have for you. I'm going to add some more as we go along through this next 6-week series. We're going to have some snacks. We're going to have more meals. And I just thought this was kind of a nice way to get started. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. This should be just something that you're going to try to put into your meal plan. I talked to Tara earlier today, and she was kind of excited about this lasagna that you made that had a beet sauce or something.
no-mato.
No-mato. Can you tell us
No-mato.
about that one?
So I don't eat nightshades because I get horrible reactions to them. And nightshades are tomatoes, peppers, potatoes,
Eggplant?
Eggplant.
plants, even strawberries, even berries have a little bit of nightshade. And
Goji berries are actually nightshade.
yes, and you know, nightshades are in the belladonna family.
Mhm.
So, you know, people have different reactions to them. But as I've gotten older, I just do not eat nightshades at all. I break out in rashes. It's bad. But there is a recipe made from beets. And one day I roasted my beets way too long. Left them in the oven. And they were mushed inside their skin. And they look just like tomato sauce. So I'm going to tackle the no-mato tomato sauce.
Okay, let us know how
I
that
will.
goes. And if you want, you can share your
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Share your success.
Yeah.
And if anybody else has a recipe, we're really looking for things that are clean. So again, no dairy, no nuts, no soy. Maybe I'll go ahead and post all that, the no-nos. And you might be surprised at how much flavor you find in your food when your taste buds have this chance to kind of get clean and excited. For those of us that drink coffee, coffee really does coat all of your taste buds. So when you come off coffee, you'll be amazed at how tasty your food is. I'm always concerned about people that drink wine every night, because I feel like you're using coffee in the morning to wake up, and then you're using your wine at night to come down. And so I'd rather you kind of temper that a little bit and just treat your body a little bit more respectfully.
So drink the wine in the morning and the coffee at night?
That's not exactly what I Very good. Okay, I'm going to wrap that up and just move on and let you know what's happening in the next 6 weeks, if I can remember the sequence of events. Next week, we have a really fun class with a woman who's on our team, and she lives in Nebraska part-time and Florida part-time. Her name is Ramona, and she's going to do a chakra class for us. And she's a Reiki master. She loves all this stuff. So she's the girl we wanted to reach out to see if she could help us with this, because the rest of us are like, I don't know, but she's going to do it for us. Okay. And then the next week, I think it's the winter wellness class, and you know Lori's going to do that with me on that week. And then, the next week is chair yoga and meditation, and I'm going to lead that one for you. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be fun. And then you
clean house. We're going to detox your homes for you.
Yep. And then Tara's going to detox our brains. Okay, so we have lots to look forward to. Thank you so much for joining us on the call. Please feel free to invite others to join us. I'm going to go ahead and send you an email with this video, so you could just pass that along if you want.
Perfect.
It's my pleasure to see all your beautiful faces. Jan, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. It was fun.
It's my sweetheart. She's the best landlady in the whole world, right? She makes us dinner. So good to us. Thank you so much, you guys, and really nice.
Good to see you. Keep us
Julie and
posted on your progress. Post on the Facebook page and let us know how it's going.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Julie. Bye, Lindy. Bye, everyone else.
Thank you.
I don't know all your names without looking. Julie, Jan, Denise, and Robert. Okay.